Next one is from Christopher. Love your videos. Thank you, man. You sometimes answer questions that I didn't know I had, right? See attached picture. That's a picture. Picture from Christopher. There we go. Let me expand that up a little bit. Question from Christopher. Why do I always get these tool marks when cutting out a part? Is there a cam setting so I don't have to do so much sanding? So I'm looking at this, and you guys maybe also be sticking your nose on the screen here. I'm assuming, Christopher, we're talking about these two vertical lines here, and not. It looks like there might also be some. It could be gouges. I don't know, but somewhat also looks like it's the wood. If this is the ones that you're talking about, then there's something up with your tool being possibly hanging out too far, and your feet and speeds are not great, and it's wet, whittling around in there maybe. I'm not sure. But if it is these two here, there could be a couple of different things. First of all, you're saying that when you are cutting out a part. So question is, if you're cutting around and you let your cutter sit there for a while, it could do a dwelling, but it could also be a lead in, lead out. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let me just go in here. I'm gonna go in and do a S key, and let's do a center rectangle. Draw something up here. Q for press pull. I'm not sure how big I'm making this part. Let's go into manufacture and do a setup, and go in and do a contour toolpath. Oh, by the way, let's first select the cutter. So there's a couple of different things. I'm not sure. Oh, this cutter's big enough. A couple of different things. So we're going to select this bottom edge here. Be aware of that if you're cutting something out of a sheet, that you can insert tabs in here in the contour toolpath. You need to know about that for sure, Christopher, because if you have a problem where when you're trying to cut the part out, so there's a couple of different things. First of all, if you have it in a sheet and you're kind of like just machining around and you let the cutter sit there, then the cutter can kind of just sit there and cut still, like feather cutting or something like that, if it's just sitting still and it's not moving around. Another thing could be that if you're cutting all the way through, that when you're cutting the last piece through, that your piece kinks a little bit, and that makes the cutter kind of gouge into the material, right? Now, if you're using these tabs, you can avoid that in the sense that you can machine everything around, and then you can just go in with a little saw or something, and you can just, saw those tabs out, and then you only have to sand those areas. But the other thing, let me just get out of the toolpath for a second. Another little trick that I used to do a lot in steel, and I probably would do the same thing in wood too, is if you go in and chamfer your corners right here, in case you've never tried this, just give it a little bit of a chamfer, like, I don't know what a little bit is here, 0.25 or something. If you're just breaking it in your model, then when you're machining around this part, then you don't have to think about this corner being sharp. You can put a nice little chamfer on there. That's a nice little tip. Definitely if you're doing steel, that's if you've never done that, do that to all your outside things, and you're gonna love me for that. All right, let's go back into that toolpath again. The other thing I want to show you, select the tool again, select bottom edge, hit OK. The other thing I want to show you is it could also be where your tool enters and exits the material, that you get whoops, wrong image. We already covered that. Where you get that marks when your cutter enters and exits the material in there, because what many times happens is that the cutter comes in and it's cutting a lot of material, and the servo motor on your mill kind of comes in and it's got to do this arc, and it sucks the cutter in a little bit. What I have done to solve this problem is I would never start on the face, because it's just hated this machining a piece of steel and have that little sucking mark in the center. So what I always have done is right click on your operation, go to the last tab, and down here you can change an entry point. Last tab all the way in the bottom, and just select that edge right there, or that point right there, and hit OK. And now your lead in and lead out is happening right on that edge where nobody's going to see it. Genius, right? So that's another way to get that mark away. And then lastly is you could actually also run into a problem, depending on your machine, where when your machine is changing direction, so you're machining around the part, where it's changing directions that your servo motors can't keep up. Especially if you're cutting something like wood, where you're going a pretty fast feed rate, you're asking a lot of your machine. You're asking it to go, the servo motor on your Y direction is going, and then suddenly, like, boom, you want that to stop, and you want the X-axis to start going in the other direction. And you might have a little bit of delay between the calculations of your computer to the motors need to slow down and start up. One last trick is if you go into your 2D contour, go to the cut tab, there is actually in here a outer corner mode that they put in here, where you can choose to say keep sharp corner with a loop. And if you do that, you will actually see that the cutter is literally going to come on and off. If I simulate this, it might be easier to see. The cutter is literally going to come on and off the part. See that? So what it does here is it's literally going in the Y direction, and then it walks off the part and comes back again with the Y direction, with the X direction. And of course, this is a little bit longer tool path, but if you have, I mean, I've done this in real life, if you had a very accurate part that you had to do, or if your machine just can't handle it. That's some cool tricks right there. I hope that was useful, Christopher. Hopefully. Oh.